Hello once again, back at you with another contest match, Ultimate Contest series. We are jumping right into it here. Start of this match probably not gonna mean that much, so really a stun actually. Real quick, we have Razzorkill rank 6 challenging Mr. Wick rank 4 before this match is played. First match in series, we have a milestone for Mr. Wick. Ooh, not enough on the OS there. Mr. Wick puts the RD on time. We have we have a milestone on Mr. Wick. We have a Chrome on Mr. Razor. Razor kind of in a bad spot on RD. Yeah, Chrome still has plenty of armor to work with. But yeah, if you're looking at the ranking at the moment, both of them are one rank higher than what I just said due to James 196 leaving the contest. So that's the reason for that. But when this match was played, it's rank 6 against rank 4. Another stun. Razor should have Protector up. Doesn't want to go for it. Is Razor just dead? No. He still has Protector, so he's trying to go for a bait here. Yeah, has the effort now as well. Needs to put the prot. Doesn't put the prot. Oh! That's a big mistake. Razor really needed to put the prot a little bit earlier there. Like, playing the Chrome into the milestone, it's very important that you protect her pretty much every time they stun you, because otherwise the cooldowns will just go to the Marl's favor and you'll lose eventually. I think he was trying to bait his opponent in, that's why Geta kinda didn't want to go in like as aggressively as he could have, because he knew that it was a risky situation. Ifrit OS, very nasty combo. So if Razor gets the prot off there, that fight looks very different, because then he gets the prot off, he has an Ifrit, and Geta needs to be able to run out. That's why he didn't want to AB into the fight, because he needed to be able to AB out afterwards. But Razor just, yeah, kind of slipping up, not respecting the stun enough, I feel. So we're off to a quick 1-0 for Geta, for Mr. Wick. Once again, as I've said in my previous match that I've casted here, Mr. Wick used to be called Geta Grip. I'm gonna call him by both names because I'm bad and I can't actually keep this organized in my brain. I hope that doesn't detract from the commentary too much. If it does, feel free to write me a message saying that I suck and that I should feel bad. That's perfectly valid reason to do that. Also, in case you hadn't noticed yet, while we're going for ship selection, I'm not spectating myself like you're used to. We are currently watching Mr. Wick's POV. This is due to no referee being available at the time this game was played. So we are post-commentating it. I am going into it blind. Same as last time with Mr. Wick versus Hekata, which worked out pretty well, I think. At least I didn't receive many complaints, so good to go. One particularly rude boy, but you know, there's always one, isn't there? Anyway, the second system picked by Razor, choosing Covert Draconis, and it looks like Mr. Wick playing a VQ and Razor playing a Marlstone. So this is interesting. The Marlstone shouldn't really lose this, in my opinion, because, I mean, whenever you take a bad fight, you just stun and walk away, and there's not that much the VQ can do about it. So I heavily favor Razor here, but let's see. You know, a good bomb, good range exploit can change anything. Razor right away goes for the AB, and he can't afford to be range exploited, and he knows it. Yeah, put up the shield. You still put up the shield against the bomb range? Okay. Goes for a stun to both the aid his cooldowns and to make sure he doesn't get bombed there, because he can delay his RD quite a bit now. He's gonna put his RD. He's running out of range actually. I'm not entirely sure. I think he should go until an RD. Bomb, bomb, bomb. Ooh, yeah, too greedy on the RD there. Bit of a mistake by Razor. The bomb got a pretty good hit, but no, Razor just waiting a little bit too long with the RD there. Yeah, I don't fully agree with his item order there. I'm not one to criticize because I understand what he was trying to do. He was trying to just waste the scrambler, get out, get back in. You know, he has RD, opponent only has RD at that point. You're good to go. At that point, you're winning. But that does hinge on not dying before that's the case. The milestone needs to play a little bit more defensive. You can win a direct engagement, like walking up and killing the VQ, it's possible, but you have to do quite a specific item order for it. So I think a little bit, maybe a little bit of indecision, like goes in with one strategy, doesn't get the results he wants at the start, decides to go for a different strategy, but at that point you've kind of committed to one thing with your item build. Yeah, it's a rough situation. I feel like he should have probably went for a full reset. But yeah, just not quite managing it. And that's the difficulty of this matchup. You do have to waste your afterburner. I say waste, it's not really a waste, but you have to use your afterburner to break the range exploit every single time, and that means I don't think Razor had his afterburner in time to run away from that. I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, Mr. Wick off to a quick 2-0, and Razor selecting Gemini, dodging the RDX systems. He has lots of RDX available, but he wants to, I guess, Storm v Storm, yeah. Both players bring the Storm, which is what you expect in Gemini, pretty much. The Shock is... both the Shock and the Tank are viable-ish, but Storms... a Storm can beat both of them. And we have a little bit of chat about the RNG, which... yeah, Storm v Storm definitely involves some RNG. But, you know, there's a lot of skill to it as well. Who gets the item build off? Didn't get the chance to... Okay, so already a deviation here. Razor puts his NPC like right after the rocket, before the second blaster. Geta puts a blaster before the NPC. Still puts the NPC before the rocket hits, obviously, but Geta with a strong RD, it seems. I don't think it's gonna matter that much. He's gonna overheal slightly. Razor doesn't seem to be in a good spot at the moment. No, he's just dead. Yeah, so... yeah, I don't fully agree with Razor's item order. You can optimize the DPS a little bit more, but it's a bit of RNG. The starting, yeah, Mr. Wick says it as well, the starting rocket was, I think, more than 10% higher for Wick than it was for Razor. So, kind of an RNG matchup. Maybe could have played a little bit more optimized, but considering the HP at the end, I'm not sure if you can optimize enough to make up for this RNG. It's, you know, it's a tricky matchup. It's 50-50, mirror matchup by default is 50-50. In this case, you don't even control that much of the 50-50. The game's RNG gods decide that. So Wick up to 3-0 already, looking like he's looking quite convincing so far. Maybe Razor not having a great day, maybe Wick having an amazing day, maybe just the ship matchups are different than I think they are, and I'm a terrible analyst. Once again, feel free to write me a message that I suck and I should feel bad. We now have Razor selecting Soul for round 4. And what are we looking at? Wick looks like he's gonna bring out a Hunter. Yeah, ready with the Hunter. Quite curious what Razor's gonna bring out against it. Hunter, obviously quite a popular ship. Which anyone who either plays the game or watches the videos can attest to. But it's not without counter. Milestone, Punari. Ooh, it is a Punari for Razor. Yeah, that's very good for Razor. Out of all of the ships in the game, as much as there's no ship that really crushes the Hunter, in my opinion, out of all of the ships, Punari is your best bet at killing a Hunter. That's my conviction. But we'll see how this turns out, because it is quite technical still. The Hunter can kill the Protector. That's the main thing. So generally what you have to do as the Punari is like Scrambler on your Protector just to keep it alive so you don't get stunned to death. But we'll see if Razor agrees with me or not. We'll see how this goes. The Punari on paper wins a direct slugfest. Like, just straight into the buff actuator, you'll still win the slugfest on the Punari, unless if your Scrambler is really bad. Range poke, Razor goes for the AB. Stuns right away, actually. Interesting play. We see Mr. Wick after burning out of it, so he doesn't want to fight while he's stunned, because he wouldn't be favored, obviously. So, wastes the stun duration. Razor acknowledges, you know, good move by Wick. I'm not gonna fight into that, gonna wait for my stun to be back. So, I would say this was a good opening by Razor, getting the 21% while only taking the 26% himself. I know that sounds stupid because, you know, Razor technically took more damage, but based on the ships, this is favorable, this is what you want. There is a range exploit in play. Now AB's in with the Scrambler. We'll see, yeah, double buff from Mr. Wick. Dropping quite low. Oh, he drops too low! RD too late, underestimating the stun dump's power, wow. Not the cleanest PvPs we've seen. This is getting very scrappy and down to the wire, which I don't mind seeing, but it's a bit surprising to me. Because we have these technical ships and it just comes down to like an action play rather than a cooldown play, so very very surprising. But yeah, it's not like if this doesn't happen that Mr. Wick doesn't like still lose the fight. I feel like Razor, he still had his Protector. Yeah, his stun was about to come up as well. I'm pretty sure Razor still wins the fight in most cases, even if the RD comes up in time here, but just not respecting it. Not respecting the stun down enough, and his repair droid was about to come up, and those are the moments where it's like, yeah, one blaster miss is enough at that point. But yeah, just slightly miscalculating it, and Razor gets one on the board, 3-1. With Wick now selecting Mizar, I believe was called out. Yeah, it looks like Mizar. And he seems to be preparing a Punari. So, let's find out. Yeah, ready with a Punari. Razor saying he doesn't know what to pick. Mizar is a difficult system to pick in because there's so many options in Mizar. Like Scorpions, Storms, Punaris, Marlstones, Emperors, Hunters, Chromes, Lavas. We've seen everything, pretty much, almost everything in Mizar. But yeah, let's see what Razor decides on, and let's see whether or not it kills a Punari. Looks like Razor taking his time to figure out what he wants to do, probably looking at the ship list, figuring out what the best counter is. Or maybe just looking more at what he currently feels like playing, which is a perfectly fine way to do it. In the end, we're here to have fun, not just to win, even though winning is also a lot of fun. Won't deny. So Razor says he's ready. Let's see what he decided to bring out. Emperor, okay. Well, GG, go next. Let's see what Geta's response is as well. Yeah, an XD gets slapped out. Emperor is the hardest counter in the game to the Punari, so this is very, very favored to Razor at this point. There's not that much that I think Geta can do. I'm not gonna say that it's an unwinnable matchup, because there's always potential, you know, every matchup is winnable, but Punari, it's a very rough ship to play into an Emperor, because you've got nothing. Your entire thing on a Punari is stunning, and the Emperor has a Protector. You have no real way to force the Protector because you don't have DPS. So you're just you're not really gonna die quickly, but you are generally going to die. But let's see if we have an upset. Wouldn't be the first time. He does need to remember going red. Yeah, Razor also points it out. Looks like Mr. Wick not used to losing, so he normally gets to keep his red after a fight, it seems. And yeah, let's see some range exploiting. Ooh, slight mistake by Razor at the start. He should have range exploited out of the stun dome range, because now the range exploit gets broken without using Afterburner. So this is definitely good for Geta, for Wick. But yeah, Prot gets put up, Perf gets put up. Wick needs to... he has the Scrambler running, but he needs to be careful. Yeah, one more hit. Now needs to burn the Scrambler as well. Razor tries to stall out. I'm not even sure if he's stalling or if he's just baiting. Wick is gonna kill the Protector, stun him, and I think he's just gonna run out now. No? Wants to fight into the stun a little bit more. He can still get out. He has a lot of time to get out before the stun ends, yeah. So that's exactly what he's going to do. And he's probably gonna try to get a full reset, because he literally has no items at the moment. I don't really see how the next fight is gonna be better for him, because this fight we didn't even have the thermal used yet. Technically his next Protector, Razor won't have the Perforator up. See, the Perforator times out just now. Protector comes up in 10 seconds, or like 5 seconds at this point. And the Perforator takes a little bit longer, so he has like 10-15 seconds of a Protector where there's no Perforator to counter it. But he can't easily get in range now because range exploit exists. So he's gonna AB in, puts the Protector, Razor knows it, he doesn't really want to fight into this until he has the Perforator, so he's gonna back off. Yeah, that's fair. But Razor only needs to wait for his Protector at this point. We've just done a full reset, all of the items are available again, except the Afterburners, which both players have used, so that's all fair. And let's take a look at how this next engagement goes. Razor should... There's no real point putting his perf now, because then the next Protector is an issue again, so he's just gonna wait out the Protector duration, and then take an engagement, and then he can perforate on the next one. Definitely think that this is the better way to do it, because this way you're fully countering every other Protector, rather than half countering a Protector and then you kinda don't really counter the next one anymore. It just gets way messier. It's so much easier for your own mind to just... Looks like we're gonna try to break the range exploit. Ooh, Razor again, not too clean on the movement. Gives up a range exploit, fully going into blaster range. I don't think it matters, because his ship is so dominant in terms of DPS that... Yeah, playing into the Scrambler, he's not gonna win that fight. AB out. I think this is a bait. I don't think we can chase this. I think he dies if he does. Because Razor still has all of his defenses, and Wick is currently on only an RD worth of defense, and he is at half health. So yeah, Wick recognizing he shouldn't be going into this. We'll see what Razor decides. It's always tricky. If you try to go for a bait and the opponent doesn't fall for it, you're kind of in an awkward spot where, like, what do you do at that point? Do you go back in? Usually the window is already closed if you like have to take your time to go back in. Or is he gonna go for a full reset? I feel like he's full resetting. I wouldn't be surprised if the next time we see him he's at full health. And I think Wick, yeah, okay, just as I say it, Wick recognizes that as well. So he agrees with my my assessment of the situation, puts his own RD. So next time we're gonna fight, we are once again in full fighting shape. Okay, so we actually take an engagement right now, it seems. Gonna get in range. Puts the Protector, yeah, Razor perforates it this time. Razor should still have the Protector, and I don't think Wick has the DPS to kill him before his RD comes up. He's holding on the stun, because he knows the Protector is still in the game. Yeah, stuns now. Razor should Protector. Wick does get out of range. AB through actually, quite interesting. This is a cheeky little trick that people don't really see coming. Razor is still in SB range, I think he's just gonna kill him. Yeah, okay, gets in blast range as well, yeah. Razor just kills him here. It's not much left for Mr. Wick to do, and there it is. So pretty much... Oh, I'm just crediting Wick for doing, like, little tricks that he didn't even do on purpose. That was just a bug sending him in the wrong direction. But yeah, pretty much on ship choice, there's not that much the Punari does to the Emperor. It's really rough. You have to keep resetting until eventually, hopefully, maybe all of your blasters crit, none of the opponent's blasters hit into your scrambler, out of your scrambler, none of their SBs crit. Like, there are so many RNG things that need to fall into place, and you can technically keep resetting until they do, but it's so rough to do, because one time you're out of position, the Emperor just puts the Protector, and you can't get out of range anymore. Like, your entire resetting potential, your entire control, is based on not having the Protector up on the Emperor. If that Protector is up, you have no control over the fight anymore. None at all. So... yeah, Mr. Wick as well, replying that Emperor is the hardest counter to Punari. I fully agree with that statement. I disagree with the statement that it's the only one. There are multiple other ships that definitely also can counter a Punari. I actually think there are quite a few ships that counter a Punari, because Punari tends to struggle with just DPS. It doesn't do that well. It needs to either out cooldown its opponent, or out-sustain it while controlling the fight, but something like a Locust can easily counter a Punari, I think. And there are a few other ships that can do a pretty good job. Something like Mist, while I wouldn't say it's favored, it's just very difficult for the Punari to actually kill it. That's the issue. You can stay in range and keep fighting it, but you only have blasters, so it takes an eternity to kill it, and 1 OS kills you. Same thing with the Chrome, actually. Like, you will win the fight, but you won't win it quickly. And if there's one lucky OS in that long duration for the fight to finish, you're still dead. So, that's just a few examples. There are a few more ships that can at least compete with the Punari. But it is on the stronger side of the spectrum, definitely. But still has some counters that aren't. And it looks like Mr. Wick, now that the score is 3-2, choosing Sol, trying to get his final win of the series, picking an Emperor again, and Razor picking Razor picking an Emperor, Mr. Wick picking a Hunter again. And this is a pretty contended match, I think. It can kinda go either way. I personally favor the Hunter. In fact, I strongly favor the Hunter. But that's due to a specific strategy that not everyone likes to do. For the sake of mystery, I'm not going to tell you what that is. Maybe Kata is gonna give us a demonstration, maybe not. But there is, yeah, Mr. Wick saying it's pretty close, while Razor's saying he's gonna get destroyed, so some different views on how this matchup is supposed to go, I guess. Also Skylurk now arriving, so referee for the final round, I guess. Amazing. Once again, Mr. Wick needs to remember to go red. He's really not used to being potted, I guess. Something needs to be practiced, needs to get a bit more potting practice. No, you're not ready. No, you're not. Put red. Oi! Razor notices it. Yeah, there we go. Go. Nice. So basically, the Emperor has more defense in this matchup, but the... yeah, I think Wick knows what's up. Yeah. Yeah. Actuate. And you're slightly faster, exactly. Okay, so no point trying to keep the strategy hidden then. This is exactly what you do. Hunter versus Emperor, people overcomplicate the hell out of it. There's really no point. The Hunter outright wins the match if you just walk up to your opponent and kill him. You don't need to do anything else. You put your buffs Your ship is faster, so you innately break the range exploits, you put your buffs, and you don't stun into prot, you'll win. Every single time you'll win. And Mr. Wick demonstrating just that here, finishing with 60% left, saying we both need more practice. But that does mean that Mr. Wick takes the series 4-2, saying that there are a few mistakes both sides. I agree. I think nobody is perfect in PvP. PvP in this game is so complicated. Once you get to a high level, there are so many layers of mind games and little trickery and little optimizations. I don't think it's possible to play perfect PvP. So, always space to practice more. So, grab your buddy, go get some practice before your next challenge, or just challenge people in order to practice. Any way you do it, practice makes perfect. Sally, signing off.